Hi, my name's Liam. 2 years ago, I bought a Humble Bundle for game development by Game Dev TV and gave up after about an hour. But now, I'm diving back in to finish what I started. So join me as I dive fully into game development with no prior experience as we begin our devlog prologue. The first game I tackled was Warehouse Wreckage. It was pretty straightforward and introduced collision, physics, actors, pawns, gravity, and some early exposure to Blueprint. It was fun once I got things going. Building maps, adding game start messages, ammo, and stacking barrels was pretty enjoyable. That is, until the elephant showed up. The warehouse was long behind us, and I spent nearly 6 hours just trying to get Visual Studio Code to work properly with Unreal Engine, only to give up in favor of Visual Studio 2022. When you're working with a 2-year-old course, some of the introductory material does become outdated, so the contents of these early lectures that was meant for Unreal Engine 5.0, but I still had 5.1 from 2 years ago, and the net files that I had were for 5.4, in the end, it all came down to user error. With the compiler now up and running, the next game was Obstacle Assault. It was my first exposure to C++, and as a complete novice, it was like looking into the Matrix and trying to figure out who was what and what was where.
Is that the Matrix? Yeah.
But at this point, anything was better than trying to troubleshoot Visual Studio's installer. But even when things worked, live coding wasn't always cooperative. Honestly, I don't have a clip of this, but imagine something like this. By the end, we learned the basics of C++, manipulating vectors like speed, direction, and rotation to make platforms move. Once we got things moving, I had a straightforward obstacle course, a handy tool for our elephant-eating toolbox. That we'll see again in the future. Even though it was a small movement demo, it highlighted the importance of level design and layout for me. Even if the platform could move, if it wasn't fun, it wasn't fun. Up next was Crypt Raider. This course was far more intensive for C++ compared to any of the previous titles, diving into creating a grabber, mover, and unique trigger components to program things like keys and locks. It was a lot to take in, but once I got the hang of it, the Matrix wasn't so intimidating.
I know Kung Fu.
I had some trouble adjusting the courses to Unreal Engine's new enhanced input system, but eventually I figured it out and my character was moving. Once I was done with the lectures, I went further into the map on the polishing side. I added sound effects to my scene, I added some secret doors, some locks, some traps. I even added my own game menu with a working restart button. It wasn't much, but it made the project feel more like my own, and it was a real boost to my confidence. I went ahead and fixed some collision issues with the floor, where my key couldn't be found once it was dropped. I was excited to work on this project, and I'll definitely be returning to it once I've tackled things like programming AI and some more advanced movement components. Up next on the course list is Toon Tanks. With just over 8 hours of lecture content, it's a lot compared to Crypt Raider's 5.5 hours of content, but not bad at all considering I spent over half a day on Obstacle Assault just trying to get C++ to work, so I'm optimistic. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you made it this far, please leave a like and consider subscribing or sending the video to a friend. It definitely goes a long way. If you want to follow along, I've included a link to Game Dev TV's list of courses in the description below. I'll see you in the next one.